Level 1. The junior accountant. You are 22. You graduate with an accounting degree. You carry $40,000 in student debt. You mail 50 physical resumes. You receive one phone call. A regional logistics firm in Miami hires you. The starting salary is $45,000. You sign the employment contract. You wear a cheap polyester suit on your first day. The office sits inside a concrete business park near the airport. A floor manager assigns you to a beige fabric cubicle. You boot up 2 square computer monitors. Your job title is accounts payable clerk. You do not touch physical cash. You match paper shipping manifests to digital bank deposits. Your fingers memorize the 10-key number pad. You track 40-foot shipping containers arriving from South America. The cargo manifests list basic agricultural products: frozen tilapia, plantains, industrial fertilizer. On day 90, you notice a discrepancy. A vendor charges $12,000 to transport $3,000 of limes. You show the math error to your shift manager. He feeds the document into a plastic shredder and tells you to sit down. You learn your first lesson. You are paid to process numbers, not to understand them. Level 2. The data analyst. You are 25. You survive 3 years in the cubicle. You stop asking questions about the math. The firm promotes you to senior data analyst. Your salary jumps to $85,000. You pay off your student loans. You lease a modern glass apartment downtown. The firm moves you to a private office with a solid wood door. You gain access to the master corporate ledger. You stop tracking physical shipping containers. You begin auditing domestic subsidiary companies. The logistics firm owns dozens of local cash businesses: laundromats, vending machine routes, used car dealerships. You stare at the digital spreadsheets. The revenue numbers defy all market logic. A single car wash reports washing 4,000 cars during a hurricane week. A failing laundromat claims $1 million in coin-operated revenue. You understand the truth behind the math. These businesses do not sell products or services. They wash dirty street money into clean corporate assets. You look at the heavy wood door of your office. You consider calling the federal authorities. You look down at the expensive steel watch on your wrist. Ignorance is no longer an excuse. It is a survival strategy. Level 3. The wire manager. You are 28. The executive board invites you to a private dinner. You drive to a high-end steakhouse in downtown Miami. You wear a custom dark gray tailored suit. The chief executive officer introduces you to a new client. The client is a polite man from Sinaloa. He wears a muted suit and a platinum watch. He speaks perfect English with an Ivy League education. He praises your clean accounting ledgers. He hands you a small black token generator. The digital device produces encrypted bank routing numbers. You are now the lead wire manager. You structure daily wire transfers to stay under the $10,000 federal reporting limit. The government calls this tactic smurfing. On a Tuesday afternoon, your finger slips on the keyboard. You type an extra zero. You send $800,000 to the wrong offshore shell company. The polite man from Sinaloa calls your direct office line. He does not yell or threaten you. He tells you to fix the error by Friday morning. He mentions your mother's exact home address in Ohio before hanging up. The blood drains from your face. You drop the plastic telephone receiver. You realize the firm owns your life. Level 4. The offshore architect. You are 31. You fix the wire error before the Friday deadline. The polite man from Sinaloa rewards your competence. You leave the cubicle in Miami. You board a private jet bound for the Cayman Islands. Your title is Director of Offshore Acquisitions. Your base salary is $400,000. You stop tracking shipping containers. You build invisible corporate labyrinths. You register shell companies in Delaware and Panama. You assign dead citizens as corporate board members. You open bank accounts in jurisdictions with strict secrecy laws. You move $50 million a week across the globe. You buy a modern glass mansion on the water in pure cash. You hire private security contractors to guard your front gate. You install a heavy steel safe in your bedroom wall. You keep 3 fake passports and $50,000 inside it. You sleep 3 hours a night. You check your encrypted phone every 10 minutes. You drink a glass of expensive scotch every morning. You learn a terrible truth. The reward for digging a perfect hole is a bigger shovel. You are trapped by your own success. There is no exit strategy. Level 5. The crisis fixer. You are 35. The scale of the operation changes. Street-level cartel lieutenants make impulsive decisions. A regional distributor buys a $3 million yacht in physical cash. He registers the vessel under his real name. This creates a massive target for federal financial crime units. The polite man summons you to a private airfield. You fly to a secure concrete warehouse in Mexico. The lieutenant sits across a steel table surrounded by armed men. They wear heavy tactical body armor. You wear a tailored dark slate suit. You place a stack of backdated corporate documents on the table. You instruct the lieutenant to sign a retroactive equipment lease agreement. The paperwork transforms his cash purchase into a legal corporate rental. You erase the federal target from his back. He signs the papers in absolute silence. He realizes his assault rifles cannot protect him from the banking system. You pack the signed documents into your leather briefcase. You walk out to the waiting jet. You feel a deep sense of power. The violent men answer to the accountant. You understand the reality of modern crime. Bullets do not stop the government. The most dangerous weapon in a cartel is a clean audit trail. Level 6. The executive partner. You are 40. You return to the Miami headquarters. You move into the corner executive suite. You look out the massive glass windows at the city skyline. You wear custom Italian suits and $10,000 watches. The fear is gone. The cartel violence feels distant and abstract. You view the organization as a standard corporate firm. You hold scheduled meetings with legitimate board directors. You review quarterly profit margins and operational expenses. A junior accounts payable clerk knocks on your heavy wood door. He is 22 years old. He wears a cheap polyester suit and a red tie. He holds a white paper invoice in his shaking hand. He points out a glaring math error on a domestic shipping route. A regional director is skimming money from the company. The young clerk thinks he is helping the firm. You look at his naive face. You remember sitting in his exact chair 18 years ago. You take the paper invoice from his hand. You feed the document into a plastic shredder next to your desk. You tell him to return to his cubicle and process the numbers. You pick up a secure phone to order the regional director's execution. You survive by becoming the exact monster you once feared. Level 7. The federal subpoena. You are 44. A thick manila envelope arrives on your mahogany desk. It carries the official seal of the Department of Justice. You tear open the paper seal. You pull out a 50-page grand jury subpoena. A federal task force demands 10 years of banking records. They target a specific shell company in Texas. A normal executive panics. You sit in your leather chair and sip black coffee. You prepared for this specific moment 7 years ago. You built the corporate structure to hit 3 legal dead ends. You hire a massive corporate defense law firm. You pay them a $2 million retainer. You load a heavy moving truck with physical banker boxes. You give the government the exact paperwork they requested. You drown the federal agents in millions of useless paper receipts. They spend 14 months tracing a phantom cash flow. They close the investigation due to a lack of evidence. You beat the United States government with pure boredom. The cartel leadership sends you a vintage Rolex watch. You drop it in a desk drawer next to 5 others. A federal subpoena no longer scares you. The only thing you fear is your own clients. The government puts you in a cage, but the cartel puts you in the ground. Level 8. The replacement. You are 49. The polite man from Sinaloa visits your office. He brings a new shadow to your desk. A young financial prodigy stands before you. He is 22 years old. He wears a cheap suit and carries a leather briefcase. The polite man instructs you to teach him the offshore architecture. You sit in the executive office teaching the young kid the labyrinth. You show him the Delaware shell companies. You show him the Cayman accounts. He learns faster than you did. He identifies inefficiencies in your routing protocols. He increases the laundering velocity. The polite man praises the young prodigy. A tight pain grips your chest. You check your secure encrypted phone. Your digital access to the master ledger is gone. You understand the brutal math of the underworld. The cartel pays for utility, not loyalty. Every secret you teach him makes you expendable. You built your own replacement. You are no longer the architect. You are a loose end. A cartel accountant never retires. Level 9. The exit protocol. You are 53. You notice the quiet changes. The private security guards avoid eye contact. The polite man from Sinaloa ignores your phone calls. The young prodigy signs the quarterly tax documents in your place. You know the execution order is active. You do not buy a gun. You do not panic. You rely on the only weapon you understand: bureaucracy. You wait for the sun to set. You open the heavy steel safe in your bedroom wall. You grab the $50,000 and the fake Swiss passport. You log into a hidden computer terminal. You execute a dormant code script. You transfer $40 million into an encrypted cold storage drive. You wipe the Miami corporate servers. You crush your computer hard drives with a heavy steel hammer. You leave the custom Italian suits in the closet. You leave the sports cars in the driveway. You walk out the back door into the dark night. You abandon 30 years of your life in 3 minutes. The cartel will hunt you for decades, but they must find the ghost first. Level 10. The ghost. You are 55. You sit at a small metal table in Zurich. You drink black coffee from a paper cup. You look out a small window at the dark gray mountains. You possess $40 million. You cannot spend a single dime. Buying an expensive car creates a paper trail. Renting a luxury villa alerts the banking algorithms. You live in a cramped apartment with peeling paint. You check the street from your window every 10 minutes. You flinch when a car door slams. You escaped the most violent cartel in the world. You beat the federal government. But you lost your identity in the process. You are a wealthy prisoner in a quiet cell. The corporate machine never stops. Back in Miami, a massive airplane flies over the concrete business park. A young man walks into the corporate lobby. He is 22 years old. He wears a cheap polyester suit and a red tie. He carries $40,000 in student debt. A floor manager assigns him to a beige fabric cubicle. He finds a math error on a shipping manifest. He has no idea what he is walking into.